Hello Reapers, my name's Seth and today we're going to be taking a look at Realms of Magic, which very much reminds me of Starbound, Terraria, all those good games. Except for the fact that we're a really buff looking dude. Yeah, you could also choose orcs, dwarves, goblins, all sorts of different creatures. Lizard men though, that sounds about right because that is my actual real life heritage, is the lizard people. So let me just go through the customization real quick right here just so you can see that, of course, based on the species that you end up choosing, you're going to end up having different hairstyles. The lizard people have horns, obviously, whereas another character might end up actually having, you know, actual hair and stuff. And it's pretty cool how in-depth the character customization actually goes for as many of the characters that we actually have. So let me see if I can figure something out here. So of course we can skip through the tutorial, but I don't really know that much about this game and want to kind of run through the tutorial with all you folks. I'm sure it's going to be very standard affair, chop down trees to get wood, to get this resource, to get that, and oh my gosh, we're actually inside a dungeon. That's really cool. The animation is very fluent, and you know what I like? The fact that we could actually walk up one block spaces. That's really cool. Double tap to sprint, very interesting. That's also starting to take our stamina in the top left. Space, of course, is going to end up being jump. No question about that. I actually really am liking this though, like the detail. The longer you hold the space button, the higher you'll jump. The controls, very fluent. You can't jump or sprint if your stamina is too low. Okay, cool. And also the fact that it's gonna, like, my suspicion is because of the fact that we've got so many other games out there that are already like this, this one is probably going to have the potential to be more developed, if that makes sense. Like there's so many of these games that come out that have foundations already set up by all these other games existing, that I feel anyways like hopefully this game will end up being something special or something unique where it's like, oh dude, you know, we already know what we're doing as far as developing is concerned, so we're just gonna copy everything from every other game, and I mean that in the best way possible. Okay, equip the shovel by moving it from the chest into your inventory. I did actually take it into my inventory, but the game is not actually telling me how to do that. There we go. Let's swap it over to weapons or tools. Oh, I see. So we just have a few set amount of tools and equipment on our character. Make sure the multi-tool slot on the toolbar is selected. Left click on the muck blocks in order to dig through them. So it's just going to automatically, it's just going to automatically use the appropriate tool that we want to use. That's really interesting that it would end up actually doing that. So the game seems to be a bit of a smart system, which makes me wonder what would happen if we ended up getting in the middle of combat and we actually have some dirt behind a creature. Are we going to accidentally end up mining the blocks behind him rather than actually attacking the enemies? I don't know. We'll have to see about that because it could end up going very poorly for us. But anyways, where do they want us to go? Press E on the torches so that you can actually light them. Alrighty. That sounds about right. Oh, and then they have a bunch of secrets over here, so let me just dig through this gooey muck stuff. Man alive, I wish that there was a faster way of actually digging, but I mean, I guess that's just how these games are, right? They're always gonna have you start out really slow at the beginning. So then we've got, what is this? This is going to end up being, whoops, what was that? Chunk of salt, which has value to it. I'm wondering if that means that we can actually end up going to a shop later on. Tales of the Witch Hunters Part 1. So they actually have lore and books and stuff like that. Whoa, this game has a lot of depth to it. I actually really like it because more often than not, to argue on the other side of things is that because there's so many games like this, usually they're kind of a cash grab where they're just straight up spawn points set at a bed, nice, where they're just straight up like, oh dude, we can just copy over this game, make it pretty much like the exact same as all the other games out there, and then people are just going to end up buying it, right? Where this one seems like it's actually got quite a bit to it, dude. Like, I'm actually quite surprised. The armor is actually all showing on our character as well. It's got a lot of depth to it while it's still in pre-alpha is what I'm saying, right? Enemy ahead. Loot a weapon from the corpse nearby. Okay, sounds good to me. So let's actually take a peek at all this. Okay, so now our weapon is equipped. Enter combat by pressing R. Ah, okay, so that already solves my question of whether or not we would end up accidentally digging, because it seems like we already just have, like, combat is a separate instance. Alrighty. And it seems like it's a little bit of a more in-depth combat system than, or more slower paced combat system, I'll say. You can actually see the giant rat's red name means that he's actually low on health. And oh man, that's actually really, really well done. I like this because it's like an RPG. You know, because there's so many of these games out there that don't really have the whole old-timey medieval theme going on for it. Now, one thing that I wanna point out is at the moment there doesn't seem to be any multiplayer. I would expect that the game's going to end up having multiplayer eventually, but honestly, I would keep in mind, you know, looking at like the discussion forums and stuff on Steam or on their webpage and stuff. If I can find their webpage, I'll definitely put it in the links in the description and everything like that. Okay, despite the fact that I said like the combat was a little bit slower paced and more in depth, it doesn't really seem like it's got that much like, I mean, these are rats, right? So we're obviously going to end up defeating them like really, really easily, as opposed to, I'm sure some of the later enemies are just gonna absolutely destroy your face, right? Jump rail sprinting to jump further. Okay, that was actually an insane jump. Let's just take all of this stuff, and we got our rat coming in. I like how it's relative to where your mouse is, where your character is facing. I also do like that there's an indicator for actually showing like the health of the creature, which is of course just going to end up being the their name color, like I said previously. Okay, so we got shoulder pads right here that we can end up equipping. There we go. Now we've actually got shoulder pads, which are aka sleeves, right? Oh, hey, we just got ourselves a stone axe. So I'm guessing that's going to end up being, so you can only have one weapon at a time. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. So that means we just got a stronger weapon. Very cool. Further path is blocked by rock paths. You can't destroy them with the shovel. You will need to craft a pickaxe. Yeah, that's just pretty standard. So they're going to give us most of the resources that we actually need to do so. I'm sure of that. They also seem to be giving us door hinges and stuff. Oh my gosh, that's a very, very complex, oh my goodness, this is, there's a lot to this game. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean that in the best way possible, because more often than not, I'll be requested to cover games like this, and then I start playing them, and they just seem like they got the bare minimum, seems like they're just broken, and they're just a cash grab. This one seems like they're actually trying to do a bit more of an ambitious project, because this is pretty cool, dude. Okay, let's go to the tools section. And let's craft ourselves a stone pickaxe, so it's going to show the resources that you need, the resources that you have, the value of the item, the weapons, total damage, etc., etc. Very, very cool, very intuitive system. Really like it. So let's actually get ourselves, the pick is just automatically going to start digging. I like that. I like the fact that we don't have to fill our entire hotbar with like 5,000 different items, you know what I mean? And now that we've actually got this axe, this thing is really, really powerful just because of the fact that it's attacking a lot faster. I am almost dead though. Man alive, like that rat almost killed me. So what do we actually do with this rock? You received level 2. So you're actually leveling up in this game as well. Talent point earned. Okay, various actions in the game reward you with experience points. Once you reach enough experience, you'll level up and get a talent point. Spend at one of the several talent trees. Okay, so where is that? Because we got like 5 zillion menus up here. Backpack, talents, so that's going to end up being T. Oh my goodness, this is really, really cool. So we got improved health. I'm guessing this is going to be improved stamina. Improved mana, because there's going to be spells later. Unlocks bag slots number 2, so you can end up having more in your inventory. Then there's going to end up being improved armor, improved blocking, improved magic resistance. This is going to end up most likely being free jump. Remove stamina cost for jumping. Oh, interesting. Improvement movement speed is increased as well. And then there's going to be the combat. Power attack allows a powerful combat attack if you end up holding down mouse. Let's do it. Did we end up doing it? It said that we just wasted it, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so what we gotta do is just hold down the mouse button. So let's see if we ended up actually getting that. Yes, we most definitely did. It takes a certain amount of stamina, and we can actually keep the charged attack awaiting and ready for if we end up running into any enemies. That's really cool. Open the talents window, and yeah, What are they trying to tell us to do? Select a talent you like and click apply. Already done. Yep, I guess it was just trying to tell us the exact same thing that it just said. So I don't know how we would end up actually getting over here. Maybe they want us to actually do a little bit of building before we can end up doing something like this, right? Or is it just going to end up being sneaky, sneaky platforming? You could totally end up, like, if I was fast enough with the mouse, we could have ended up jumping up there, opening the bag, and grabbing the items out of it. So we got to keep that in mind as well, is there is going to be options for stuff like that. Minor healing potion. Okay. You may drink a minor healing potion by right-clicking it to restore your health. Okay, sounds good to me. This is also going to be more to our character's armor. Yikes. Let's actually drink that, and then it actually leaves us with an empty potion. So that's really interesting to keep in mind as well. Another spawn point set. I like it. We might only have enough time to actually go through the tutorial, disappointingly enough. Just because I don't know if we'll have enough time to actually go out and experience the world for what it is. But this is really, really, this is really, really cool. Not to mention we got a full-on dungeon right here with actual traps. I just got my butt kicked by that one. Take the pine shield from the chest, then you will be able to block with the right mouse button. Okay, that sounds good to me. That's really cool. How do we actually equip it? He's not actually, like, doing anything with it. I don't know exactly why. Is that because it's not actually equipped? Yeah, I think that's because it wasn't actually equipped. Yeah, there we go. So now we can just right-click. I wonder if that would actually, like, how much damage is that going to negate? Okay, it's just going to take durability from the shield, I'm guessing. Whop! You stupid rat! So you could actually get a pretty good timing down then for most of the enemies in order to actually, like, attack, block, attack, block, attack, block. I wonder, can you actually block and attack at the same time? No, you cannot. Also, we do have our heavy attack that I should actually be using because I completely forgot about that. I like how, even though it's a tutorial, they do have lots of little secret areas that you can end up going into just for the sake of exploration. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get a nice heavy attack going on this guy. Bam! Take that, you stupid idiot. So that almost was double the damage, but also just because of the fact that we can kite so well in this game. Your character needs to eat and drink to survive. You can see the hunger and thirst bars in the menu in the top left corner. What? Oh, I see. That's going to be the hunger is low and our thirst is getting a little bit low as well. So what can we end up? Does a health potion actually... That should replenish thirst, dude. That really, really should. That doesn't really make that much sense that it doesn't. What about meat? Are we just getting any normal meat from any of these creatures? Maybe not. Maybe they're just going to end up giving us some a little bit further on here, I'm expecting. Yeah, you can find some water in the chest nearby. Yep-a-roni. That's what I thought. So there we go. Right-click it. Your character will then drink it whenever he or she is thirsty. So we're just going to automatically... your character will then... Wait. You can find some water. You can equip water by to an auto drinking slot by right-clicking it. Ah, I see. So our character's just going to automatically drink the water, so it's not something that we have to actually manage, which I very, very much like. That's a very, very intuitive system. Really into that one. So then we got rat on a stick. Let's just craft all of those. Can we keep crafting while we're away from the fire pit, or do we actually... Ooh, that I do not like, is that we actually have to stand beside it, and it does have a specific crafting time. So, I mean, I guess it is kind of a more hardcore survival type of game. That's generally the impression that I'm getting from this one, but... I don't know if I like that. I never like crafting times in video games, dude. So if we end up just right-clicking the food, yeah, that's just going to end up putting it on that invisible bar that is... somewhere on our character. Oh, that's the consumable right there. Okay, awesome. So then there would be ammo, jewelry, clothes. Very, very neat. Very well done. I really like it. There are no torches in the tunnel above, so take this one. Okay, sounds good to me. What happens if I just right-click it? Press the Z button in order to end up pulling out the torch. Very cool that they've actually got buttons and hotkeys tied to all of these different pieces of equipment, because so many of these games don't actually end up doing that, and it's like, it's almost required in a way, isn't it? Where if you don't, where if you don't end up actually having like a way to equip these items separately, you kind of get a little bit overwhelmed in trying to equip everything all at once, you know? So we're slowly healing over time. Move the rock to the chest. What? You move the rock from the chest to one of the slots in the toolbar. Oh, okay. So they're trying to show us building, I'm guessing, right? So if we end up just doing this, we can just hold down left click, build a bridge all the way across, and there you go. Oh, wow. Very cool. Very cool. I like it. So can we actually build as fast as we sprint? Yes, we can. Good. Now, because of the way that this game is designed, just in the way that we're actually playing it, I don't know whether or not it would end up being easier for... I don't know whether or not it would end up being easier to build than it is in most other games. Most other games, I think, would actually do a better job of that. Seems like this is going to end up being a very, very slow-paced one of, side-scrolling voxel game, right? But like I said, I kind of like that because most of them are kind of very fast-paced. This one kind of seems like it's more strategic and more focused on like not only just combat but survivability, right? So we got the tin mace. That's going to end up being a better weapon. I'm sure of that one. So let's actually pull out our weapon and get our torch away so that we can end up using our shield right here. Huh! I don't think so, skeleton man. You go right ahead. He's gonna try and do his own special attack. Jeez Louise. Okay. Huh! Man alive, this skeleton is like really scary. Like it's just one enemy and he's already like so threatening to us. I just blocked him, but it didn't work. I didn't mean to sprint though. Our character just kind of seemed to, oh my gosh, we're very low on stamina. We gotta watch out. So I guess in that regard, we should just be a little bit more strategic. The combat seems to be a little bit more slower than what I'm used to as far as these types of games are concerned. Like I'm more used to just a faster paced combat, but man alive, like this one skeleton is giving me such a hard time. I can't even believe that. So let's actually drink ourselves another health potion, because why not? Why does it say, it said we were at like 44 health or something? Maybe we weren't, I don't know, I think I misunderstood. Okay, let's just be strategic, right? We just camp him. Because whatever, take this, stupid head. You think that I care? Go ahead, run at me. You stupid skeleton? Like, when is he going to just die? He's so powerful, I don't like him. Huh! There you go, dum-dum. What did we get out of him? Whoa! We actually get all of the items out of him that he had equipped. So that's very interesting. We've actually got all of these except now we've got a hat. We also have, what did he have? A tin axe, which is 5 to 7 damage, as opposed to our mace, which is 5 to 7 as well. Okay, very interesting. Now I'm wondering whether or not this weapon, like the mace, ends up doing like blunt damage, which it doesn't seem like it makes a difference, or at least it's not telling us that it makes a difference. So let's try and see if we can progress. Ooh. Press E to interact with the portal. Bum. Press G to open the guidebook. Why is it nighttime? That's not good. Seriously, find a bunch of quests that will help you explore the world. Oh my gosh, we got so many quests that we can end up doing as well. There's recommended, there's available ones, gathering food, chopping down trees. Let's chop down some trees just because I want to see how the system ends up working. How would we end up doing that? Can we just, what? I need a proper tool. Is an axe a proper tool? I'm guessing that in order to actually do that, we would have to get the proper tool by going and crafting and stuff like that. Still very cool, though. Gathering jute seeds was one of the quests that we could end up doing, which means that gathering food is going to end up being done from these chickens right here. And so on and so forth. Very, very cool. I very much think that this game is pretty cool. It would be really nice to be able to play this with other people, but honestly speaking, I'm wondering whether or not this is going to end up being multiplayer. I should actually check and see, but I could totally see this being a single-player focused game like this, just because of the way that it plays. Like, maybe it's kind of more focused, maybe it's not necessarily random generated worlds and stuff, which it probably is. I'm just kind of saying, like, what I think would actually be really cool. But in either case, like I thought, we only had enough time for the tutorial. Sorry I didn't rush through it quicker than I should have, but otherwise I don't want to wait for the nighttime to go away. So now is as good a time as ever to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. Links are going to be in the description for everything about this game. Do not forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content that's also going to build up loyalty points to my merch store. Links are in the description for that, where you can buy this shirt and a bunch of other stuff. And for the fans that want to go the extra mile, you can donate to me for absolutely free with Gawkbox. Check links in the description explaining more of that. Sign on and stay epic, everybody.